But for me, Theta healing means choosing to live with love.
You know, it's holy divine work. I'm going to say, I asked Creator about what is ThetaHealing a long time ago, and that's what I got. And the trick is that humans are doing it. So it requires humans to actually apply what we teach them so we can actually ascertain its true vibration of holy divine work. So that means you got to be it, you got to do it, you got to work on it as much as you possibly can. And yeah, holy divine work. Yeah.
Hello, this is Samantha Lohmann. I am part of LiveTheta, the coordinators for New York City. And today I have with me my sister, Prisila Lohmann, which is also coordinating the event with me in New York City. She's also an amazing Theta healer. And I also have Sky, which is also an amazing, magical Theta healer with us today. So would you tell us a little bit about yourselves? Who are you guys?
Well, I'm Priscilla, and I'm Samantha's sister. And I've been working with Theta Healing since 2011. That's when me and Sam started our journeys. Well, she started a little bit before as practitioners, and then we became instructors, and we've had the opportunity to coordinate Bayana for a few years now. And I also had the opportunity to work directly with her as her assistant for a while. And that's what I've been doing. I've been teaching some classes, assisting Diana, and coordinating Theta healing events because that's what I really enjoy. And that's what I've been doing these past few years.
Hi, I'm Sky Ahern, and I've been doing Theta healing for since 2003. I was a school teacher, taught little kids in Spanish a long time ago, and then the universe decided I needed to do Theta healing, so it kind of picked me up and put me in the Theta healing world. So had some spontaneous healings, and I got to found my way traveling with Vian and Guy and helping them write some of the very first books, editing the first books and the first classes and manuals for some of the beginning classes. Because when I started, there were only 3 classes. I still can't believe it. 21 days of classes. That was it. That's all we had. Now we have way over 200 some days. I lost count. Anyways, how many we have?
Half a year.
Yeah, I know. It's so crazy. So I love Theta healing. It's been my passion. It's changed my life. I love teaching my students. They're incredible. I love my little podcast where I talk a lot about Theta healing, leading with light. And I am now apparently partially living in Vienna's backyard and partially in California. And so it's a magical journey, and I love Theta healing. It's the reason why I am on this earth. So
you have been a teacher for a very long time. But what was your inspiration when you started teaching?
wow. The greatest thing is that I was already a teacher. And so teaching Theta healing was super fun because we were taught to let Creator teach the class through us. And so it was 10 million times more fun. Because Creator's so magical. Like the content is always changing depending on the students, and we get to really teach to them, but we are praying it in. So I love watching it be delivered because it's always so perfect. And I forgot your question, but that's my answer.
That's a good answer. It's awesome. I know you have been doing this for many years, and you have taken a lot of instructor classes throughout the years. You have helped Diana, you have been in many different places. But what would you share with people that are coming for the first time to an instructor class? What was your experience in your first instructor's class?
Okay, so I have 2 answers coming through. The first one is a little bit not your answer question, but it is important to say. So when I was traveling around with Vienna and Guy, because somehow when I had a brain injury, and so when my brain started healing, I was able to type every word that she said in her class, and I couldn't function for the rest of my life, but I was able to do that. Anyways, I was traveling around with them, and we were in New Zealand teaching intuitive anatomy for 3 weeks. And I looked around the world, and I was like, oh my God, this stuff is going to go global. I was just looking around. There were all these people from all different parts of the world. I'm like, it's going global. And it was such an amazing moment. And because I was I was trained in as a multicultural, multilingual school teacher, and I was very much an advocate for all different cultures and all different languages. It spoke so loudly to me that theta healing goes into the oneness. It's not like you have to believe my way or the highway, and it's not like my culture is better than yours. It's into the oneness. It's into, it's not my religion is better than your religion. It really speaks above all of the differences into the unity. And we get to what I was witnessing was that everyone from wherever they were really wanted to know what unconditional love felt like. And they really wanted to know how to heal themselves. And they really wanted to help their families and their friends. And that spoke truth to me so loudly and clearly. And it just seemed like the way I could most efficiently and effectively make an impact on the world, which was one of my all-time goals.
Coming to an instructor event, what did that teach you?
I think one of the reasons I went to an instructor's event was because there were only 3 classes and I wanted to learn more. I had no intention of teaching at the time. I was not in that space to do so, but I just wanted to learn more and I wanted to work on myself and I wanted to go into the material deeper. And I found that a lot of my students want the same. It's not like they're maybe ready to teach, but they want to learn more. And I think eventually when people are supposed to teach, they'll teach. Because the irony of all of this is that I was doing theta healing since 2003, and I was like wanting to teach, and I didn't start teaching until we could teach online finally during COVID. I mean, that was years later, and I was like really wanting to. So I think the Creator has a plan for each of us as to when and where and how and all that as far as how we teach our students and when they come to us and when we're ready. So
that's great. We're having 2 events in New York, and we just want people to know a little bit more about those 2 classes. What is your favorite thing about the Intuitive Child in Me class that used to be Rainbow Children, but it's the Intuitive Child in Me? What's your favorite thing of that class?
Well, that class is extremely just so special to me because when I was a school teacher, I really watched my children come into my classroom and I saw us just giving them information that I felt was actually to teach them how to pass a state exam. And it was really irritating to me because I just intrinsically felt in my soul there was something more we were supposed to be teaching these children. And as I saw them come into my class, I saw them as these beautiful balls of light. And I was just a young person waking up intuitively. I didn't realize it at the time, but I had taken care of children my whole life. And studied to be a teacher. And so I was realizing we weren't teaching them how to keep their magic. We weren't teaching them how to be the magic they were and how to nurture that, how to keep their creativity. Seemed like we taught their creativity and imagination out of them. And so I love theta healing so much. I mean, I love the Rainbow Children class so much because we actually give all of those tools back to our children. And oftentimes the adults that take that class, because I think one of the hardest things for what I've witnessed in with adults taking theta healing is that when they come in, they start doubting their intuition. They doubt their imagination. They doubt what they're seeing. They doubt what they're feeling. And I think that's because systematically we've taken that away from them. And so I never wanted to do that to my children. I felt like how I was teaching them was wrong. And so Rainbow Children gives that back to them. And so it was just kind of magical because I feel like it all happened. Like I got taken out of the classroom and basically given to Vienna guys so we could get all this stuff out in the world. And the class that I got to help them write was this class. And so the full circle of all of that was just so divinely orchestrated. This class is always forever. So it's just amazing to me. And can I add also that it really is triggering for people, this class, because we finally start doing some intuitive, clairvoyant, clairsentient, telekinesis kind of stuff. And it really triggers people. People think, they've learned so much and they have learned so much. And when they come to this class, they get to play and they get to start working with this energy in a different way. And sometimes they don't think they can do things, but then when they can do things, it gives them much more to work on, kind of like the NA3. All of a sudden they can do all of the things they're doing. And so now they're like a little bit, oh, I can do this. Whoa, that stresses me out. So it gives them a lot more stuff to work on, which I think it's always great to clear your beliefs.
So for someone who would like to come, but they're not sure, what would you say you get out of taking Intuitive Child in Me as an instructor?
I think you get to play like you didn't get to play when you were a kid. And with an awareness and a connection to who you truly are. And I think we get to how do you say this? Reclaim our divine birthright as little sparks of light in human little bodies, which is not a nurtured aspect in our children. And a lot of times parents come to this class, and I think that's just so wonderful because they want to nurture that in their kids because, kids are different these days. They're very different. 30 years ago, I worked with babies, maybe 35 years ago, and they were magical. But I'm telling you, the kids now, they're masters and their parents know it. And they need to give them something that they aren't getting. And this is it.
And I have one last question for you. Do you have any fun stories that of anything you have manifested instantly?
I have a lot of stories about that.
Anything
Well,
you'd like to share?
okay, so I think so the more beliefs you clear, the more you learn about this holy divine work, the more you apply it to yourself. The more you work on your belief systems, the faster you can manifest, as we all know. And so I think when I look back on the history of my theta healing journey, I was in New Zealand with Vianna and Guy for a 3-week intuitive anatomy class, which is my favorite class, although Rainbow Children's my favorite class. But if you ask me really at any moment in time, at any class, it's my favorite class. So, but there was this time where I had a thought and it materialized so quickly, I didn't even know I wanted it anymore. And I realized I had this belief that I had to want it for a long time in order to get it. It was very genetic. And so when things started spontaneously showing up, it was really an internal struggle to recognize, did I really want that? And so I was wondering if I really manifested it, but I did manifest it. And so it was kind of a dream. It was very dreamy. I don't know how to explain that to you, but because it was becoming spontaneous, it was becoming each breath. And so, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I manifested huge things. Obviously, a house, a car, a puppy, living in Vianna's backyard. I mean, like, I did not plan this. I mean, not her yard, but some other place. But anyways, so there's a lot of manifesting going on these days. Yeah. But I've been manifesting so quickly lately. I have been recognizing I have these beliefs of I have to stress for a long time over something, not for a long time, for a short amount of time. I have to kind of throw this little stress fit before it comes into being. But then I look back on it and I don't have to stress over it all. But that's just like an old genetic, thing with my ancestors. They had to really like freak out, I guess, before they got what they want. But now I don't have to. So I can just think it and know that somebody's going to take care of that soon. Poof.
What would you like to share about intuitive anatomy instructors for those that are considering? And we know it's an amazing seminar, but what would you say about that seminar?
Honestly, well, we've gotten so many other classes. It's hard to say it's my favorite class, but forever is my favorite class. Okay. Because, well, first of all, I got to help Vianna write the manual. And so we taught it the first time she taught it the first time in Hawaii. And she's like, Sky, you got to help me. You got to assist. And I'm like, oh, no, I can't assist. I haven't taken this class before. She's like, Sky, you help me write it. And I'm like, okay, well, I have to take it with my peers. Anyways, and so like I sat in the class because I think I have to do things a certain way. So I sat in the class and for 2 or 3 days. And then I finally went to her. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to help you assist now. I can't just sit in your class. I got to help. And the fun thing about that class is that we get to do and practice our remote viewing all the time in every system of the body and check out all the beliefs that happen in that area of the body, as everybody knows. But as a teacher, going through it as a teacher, you have a different experience because you've already gone through it once, obviously, maybe multiple times. And then you get to practice your remote viewing and you get better and better and better. And it's always an opportunity to clear more of your stuff so that when you are working with your clients or your students, you have an opportunity to hold space for them at a bigger capacity. And I always think that, after we take it the first time, we're so excited, we feel like we've done it. But I've taken it, I can't even tell you how, I've probably taken it for years. I've taken it so many times. It's a 3-week class. So like whatever. And every time I take it or teach it, I learn a ton. So favorite class.
It is a wonderful class.
Have fun. Have fun with your students. It's going to be so fun holding space in New York with all these people coming. Oh my gosh. Yay. Well, hey, so you're going to New York and apparently this isn't your first time in New York. So I heard that you lived there before. You want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, I many years ago I did live in New York, and I actually took my first healing class in New York when I was living there. It's a great city. I love it because there's everything. You can literally do everything. But what I love the most is like you can just start walking somewhere and just keep going and find things. And every little part of the city is different. Every little part has something to offer. And on your way, you always find fun things. And in between, you find restaurants, theaters, musicals, sports, everything. And there's also parks everywhere. I really love nature. And I know it doesn't compare to Montana where you have the Glaciers Park, that's huge, you know, where you can go hiking and stuff. But Central Park is really beautiful. I love going there. There's also gardens everywhere. And I really like that mix of being in the city, having all the culture, all the restaurants, and still be able to be in nature all the time. Plus, there's no bears, so I don't have to carry bear spray if I go to New York. I can just go to Central Park and don't worry about the bears. And there's gardens everywhere, and I really like that. I like being able to enjoy nature within the city and still be part of a city where I can decide to go to a ballet or to a theater play or even go to a basketball game. You know, so New York has a lot of things to offer. And we're hoping that when students come, they get to experience the magical energy of the Theta Healing Seminar and then go out and be in a city where they can do anything, where they can eat anything and enjoy all the parks and everything in the city.
That sounds so fun. You're making me want to come.
It's a fun city. You have literally everything. I had great experiences. I met people everywhere and it was always fun.